We're back at the line table for our final topic this week. On Monday, the city of Albuquerque and the 2nd Judicial District Attorney's Office announced their crime-fighting initiative, the Security Camera Analytical Network, or SCAN. The goal is to create a large security camera map by getting businesses and homeowners to voluntarily register their video cameras that they have. This could go a long way in assisting investigations, providing police with contact information for owners of such cameras that are located in areas where crime has been committed, Dan. And interesting, I'm thinking now about the last couple of years where we've had a lot of video out there. The Green Jeans situation up there, you had a video camera of the guy skulking around. There's that pizza place on Mountain.
How about every bank robbery? You drive down Paseo, and there's a constant pictures and video of if you've seen this
yes,
guy.
That's right.
Maybe the answer is not that we need more access to video. The answer is we need more cops that can go out and do their job.
I hear you, though.
Right?
But
That's the problem.
How do you assess this as a tool for those cops?
I'm sure everything is a tool. I mean, this seems to be a response to R.J. Berry getting Crime Fighter of the Year from the Albuquerque, Chamber of Commerce. I mean, I don't know what this is going to do. What good does it do you to be able to see a crime being committed if you don't have the personnel to send them out to go fight that crime?
Gotcha.
What are you going to do? I mean, I guess are we going to become a society where we just have these cameras everywhere, and sort of some of the stuff, I know Sophie will talk more about this, but I did some quick looking about England. Their philosophy is basically let happen what happens, then we'll go afterwards and take care of it. We don't really have that philosophy. We want to stop crime from happening, and so it seems to me like Albuquerque's punting and saying, well, what we're going to do is not hire more cops. We're going to get all you guys to buy into this scam, instead of scan, it's a scam. We're gonna get all you guys to buy into it, and then we'll get the information from you, and eventually we'll make our way down to solving the crime. If you're a criminal, it looks like, you're gonna have a window of opportunity to commit your crime and make a getaway. So I don't disagree that it's a tool, but I think it's talking about tools later on when we need to focus on the real issue before us, which is getting more cops hired, getting more people on the streets, getting our police force trained to interact with the people and stop this crime.
So what if they get this thing to a place where in real time, you're a part of the network, you have voluntarily put your camera as part of the network, say the Green Jeans situation, where in real time, the police in that substation could see someone inside that business and react, I hear Dan's point, but react accordingly. Is that not a good thing for a business?
Well, it's a good question, but I really question whether that's possible. I mean, it's at some level with the technology that we have right now and the budgets that we have right now.
Right.
So we're talking about taking a bunch of individuals, paying them to sit in front of monitors and wait for something to happen.
Because when the alarm goes off, we can't respond to that, right? They already get the alarm that goes off and everything.
Detector, it could be, you never know.
I think sort of the larger issue, and just to pick up on, Dan previewed this a little bit, but England, for instance, has a phenomenal network of cameras all over the country, and London in particular is very densely covered in cameras. And I think there's both a question about whether we lose some of our civil liberties when we live in an environment like that, and then also about the effectiveness. And in London, they have found, apparently, that more street lamps are more effective in fighting crime than more cameras.
Right.
And so what are we investing in? Are we investing in another taser-like situation in which, we're spending a bunch of money with some company to knit this together for us, but we don't really have the training, the resources, the skills, and the cops, as Dan was just saying, to make it effective in a positive way. I thought about this as well. APD has put together an app that you can download on your phone, and when you do download it onto your phone, you give APD extraordinary permissions to access all of the content on your phone.
That's right.
Where are you? Who have you been calling? Who have you been texting? The content of those texts, all that kind of stuff becomes available to them. And so we might look at something like this and say, that looks awesome, just like many people have looked at the app and said, I really want that. But what are we giving up when we say that we want it?
That's a good point. Stephen, I'm going to use this example again. What happens if you are a criminal and you come up on a business as a big sign that says we are part of the SCAN network? And if you walk in here after hours, we're going to see you and the cops are going to be here immediately. Is that not a deterrent?
I have a friend who has just this week has a business just on North 4th Street.
Yeah.
And there's security cameras, there are signs that say you're on a security camera, and there's a sign that says there's an alarm. And this guy just busted in, the alarm went off, he grabbed the first computer he could and left.
Sure.
But So it's certainly not a complete deterrent, but there's nothing wrong. There's certainly nothing wrong with mapping and finding out who has cameras, who has information, can help investigation. APD also has another program where they actually have real-time cameras in certain parts of the city, so they can alert cops who are going to the scene or at the scene about what's going on. But it's not a monitoring system as described. But fundamentally, after having said all that, I kind of agree with Dan. You know, if you're going to, if you really want to do something about crime, we need to have increased policing and better policing, community policing.
There you go. What do you think about this as a tool, Dan? We haven't even touched on residential cameras, but sticking with business for a quick second.
Yeah, I mean, I get the where it's coming from. I get the frustration and fear people are feeling. I mean, I've seen reports about people sleeping in their business with a gun. I mean, I think I can see where it's coming from, but I also agree with some of the concerns raised, and kind of almost reminds me like we're headed toward the Truman Show, you know, where your whole life is documented on video or something. And I think that's kind of a frightful thing. I mean, how much of liberty are you willing to give up for?
That's the big thing about the civil liberty part. I just touched on real quick is that, you know, we acquiesced and gave the police the right in the Civil Forfeiture Act, and we see how well that's gone.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
So now we're going to give them this right in the business and say we trust you guys not to exceed your deal. So you read the book by Judge Napolitano about Suicide Pact. It's a phenomenal book to be read about how much we're giving up liberty all in the name of being safe again. I just tell people before we get into this scam, think about how the Civil Forfeiture Act has worked, and it's been a train wreck.
Let me make sure to get the quote in from Gordon Eden, our chief. He said, "This is not a monitoring program, as I've maybe made it seem like. We do not monitor your cameras. It's a networking capability and an investigative tool for our detectives."
It's also
and our
probably,
criminal
Gene,
agents.
a step toward that.
See, that's the ultimate question.
Because they
Is
do
it?
say that under certain circumstances you can have the APD monitor your, yes,
right.
we'll
You
tie
can
you
allow
into a
that.
system.
Trust me, I'm from the government. I'm
It's an
here to help
evidence gathering
you.
system,
That's right. We'll see how this one goes. Thank you all for being here on this Friday night.